I couldn't breathe. And it was the most fear I've ever felt at one time. Hey guys, welcome back to Word Wednesdays. Again, if you are new here, check out the link above for our playlist of all our other Word Wednesday videos. Today we are going to be defining the word that we pulled last week, which is love.
Alright, so normally we go ahead and do our definition, give the backstory that goes along with it, and do shout outs from some of the comments. After coming up with our backstory this week, that goes along with our definition, we realized this video may be a little more emotional. I don't know if you can define love without being emotional unless you're being very vague. So to get really into the heart of it, so we're going to go ahead and pick next week's word. All the children are asleep, so they're not able to do it today. If you are new here, comment below your definition of the word, what it means to you, how you would apply it in your life, and then we always pick one or two of the comments and do links and read off the comments in the next video. So love to have you play along. Without further ado,
again, we always have our little word box here. This next week we will be defining. I don't know why I turn it towards them. You can't see it. You can't see it. Okay, so next week we are going to be defining friendship.
Ooh, now the comments can go any way you want to. What does it mean if someone's a friend to you? Friendship. Tell us a story about you when you're a friend. Just really engage with it. It helps us get to know you, and then read each other's comments, comment back. It's just supposed to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay.
So our definition of love is the balance between joy and fear, and between reacting and responding. We always kind of break down how the definition comes to be. Love is somewhere, it's joyful, but there's a fear. There's a fear of losing the person. There's a fear of hurting the person, or someone else hurting the person. There's so much fear, but the joy is so powerful. So when you get to that balance, that you get so much joy out of it, and you have so much fear of anything happening or being without them, right there on that line of balance is love. And the same with reacting and responding. You react negatively, and you respond positively. You react in the moment. But sometimes it's necessary. You react to protect them. You react because you've been hurt. You respond in a constructive manner. Things that will help, things that will reduce those harms. When you find that balance, it's love.
Which brings us to our backstory. My pregnancy with Everleigh was fairly uncomplicated. Everything went smooth sailing. I had a couple hiccups here and there, but I did with all of my pregnancies. Nothing major, more health problems with me than
Kidney stones and...
Yeah, just a bunch of personal ongoing issues. Nothing with the baby. So, my labor with Everleigh was horrific. It was bad. Before my other two labors went smooth sailing. This one did not.
The doctor was late and the nurses held off the labor, would be the best way, beyond the point that it should have been done.
Yeah.
Which was extremely unsafe for both mommy and baby.
So after all of that was done and we were in the room, I was nursing, she was latching perfectly, everything was going great. And then she stopped breathing. She turned blue. I had never dealt with anything like that before, so I had mom call a nurse, and she rushed in, took the baby, and left. There was no other babies being born that night, and about 2 minutes after they took her,
The worst sound ever.
they called code blue. And if you know anything about hospitals, code blue means they're dying. There's no other babies in the nursery at that time. So immediately we just look at each other and run as fast as we can. And we're just standing outside of the nursery listening to those alarms blare and the lights flash. And if you've ever been to a labor and delivery ward, you can't get in unless somebody's there to press the button to let you in. All of the nurses and doctors that were in the ward were in the nursery with Everleigh. And so we're standing there and we can see like 5 or 6 other doctors and nurses trying to get in and beating on the door to get somebody.
Nobody's there to press.
Nobody's there to press the button. And so we're listening to these alarms blare. I think the baby's in there dying, and all these other doctors are standing there trying to get in, and there's nobody there to let them in. We don't know what's happening until so we just stand there and we're just bawling and we can't breathe. And then one of the doctors, or the nurse that took her, came out and she said she's okay. That was just the fastest way to get as many people up here as we could to figure out what was going on. And we just hit our knees. And we didn't know that's what we mean by fear and love, reacting and responding. I didn't even know this person yet. She had never been in my life, and the moment that I thought she wasn't going to be, I couldn't breathe. And it was the most fear I've ever felt at one time. On a lighter note, I did kind of wish that she would have told me she was going to do that before she did it. Maybe give a new freshly birthed mother a heads up that you're going to call a code blue on her new child.
So we did not react to the nurse.
We did not react.
Instead, we were extremely thankful. We then had to, but there was a couple weeks of trying to figure out what
was going on. She was in the NICU, and they did MRIs and spinal taps and blood work, and both the other ones were perfectly healthy. Like Clarabelle had a little bit of jaundice, and I had to leave her at the hospital for a day. But they ran so many tests and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. Eventually, we finally figured out that she stopped breathing because she had acid reflux so bad. So when the pain from the acid reflux happened, it would cause her to arch up and like just stop breathing because it hurt so bad. So they put her on medicine, and she still spits up.
Well, you guys have seen.
You've seen.
And I think in one Clarabelle said that was her superpower, was that
Yeah.
she could spit up so well.
Yeah, so she still spits up really bad, but she's not in pain from it anymore. So that helps a lot. But so
Yes, and now she's the chunky one you all see. She's doing great.
Yeah.
But that's where the definition is. There was so much joy and fear in the same context. The joy of the nurse coming out and saying she was fine, but still not knowing why they were calling so many doctors, and wanting so bad to rush in and protect her, and not being able to, and being angry that they had created such a fear around it, but responding with, what can we do? Where can we go? So there's so many emotions that go into that those were the only ones we could narrow down without giving you all a page-long definition of love. But definitely, and like she said, we didn't even know her yet. Like, we held her a few times.
maybe 5 hours after she was born. This person for 5 hours.
And you loved her.
And I loved her. In the fullest definition of love and pain and fear and reaction, I loved her. And that was probably the best backstory we could give you guys.
All right,
So moving on.
Our definition this week is again from Mama Makes It Happen. She's really engaging with this, and
Yeah.
I really hope, Mama, that this is, you know, as fun for you as it is for us. I believe it is because you're always right with us. Her definition this week is love is what it does. Looking over insecurities or wrongdoings or actions, loving anyone despite of. Having the kindness in your heart to forgive no matter what the issue. Love is an action word, so it is better to show than do. I really like that she brought in forgiveness. Again, that's a balance. Your love is hurtful at times, or loved ones can be hurtful. But when you really love them, you have such a fear of them not being in your life that you have to consider, is it worth staying angry and manifesting that fear, or is it better to forgive and keep that relationship with that person? And I think that's, you know, a lot of times we stay angered out of fear, you know, of it something happening again, but the fear of losing them when it's actual love is more powerful, I think.
So next week's should be a little bit on the lighter side of things. These have trended more on the heavy side. Friendship might be a little bit more fun. Have fun with it, guys. Jump
But I
in
will
there.
tell you, as serious as they've been, we've really gotten to know a lot of people.
Yeah, like those of you who have commented back to us, we feel like you're definitely a part of the Hatterhead family. So,
as always, check out the links in the description, all of our social media. Join us there, follow us. Check out the link to Mama Makes It Happen. I'll put it in the description. And
excuse me. We'll see you next week, guys. Bye.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to check out any of the other videos posted right here. Also, be sure to like and subscribe.